It's easy for us to sit there and to think of all the negative things. And so that fear is placed into us and it keeps a lot of us stuck. We don't grow because we are afraid of the what ifs. And so the other day I was listening to a podcast and they said fear, what that stands for, the acronym, false evidence appearing real. So the false evidence that we're making up in our minds, the false thoughts that are coming to our mind, we don't know the future. So we are good at playing fortune teller if it's negative, but we can't do that if it's positive. So I challenge you, shift your mindset, switch your mindset, believe it, work on that. And it's not a one-time thing, guys. This is something that you have to work towards. Healing is a tough journey. Healing is something that takes time and grace and patience. Remember, you built these habits. You built this mindset. You built this character. And you have to work to rebuild the person that you want to be. Happiness, does it mean that every day is perfect, beautiful, sunshine, rainbows? No. I have my bad days. I won't even say my bad days. I have the times where I do feel like life can be hitting me. But as soon as that situation arises or that thought comes into mind, I shift and I'm like, okay, no, what can I learn from this? Why is this happening for me, not to me? And so much growth since 2016 in those 10 years. And if you would have told me in 2016 that I would be working towards healing, setting boundaries, protecting my peace, protecting my energy, working towards the best version of myself, I wouldn't even know what that looked like. Hello, welcome back to Healing Momma Podcast. I am Belle, aka Healing Momma, and this is the start of season 3, episode 1. So, first off, I am so blessed and so grateful that it's been a year since I started this journey, and I still have so much more to share. When I started this journey, the fear and the doubt set in instantly, and I was like, I'm going to run out of things to say and things to talk about. But I just put my faith in my higher power and figured if this was meant for me, then situations, stories, memories will come into my mind to where I can share them with you guys and talk about the growth or what I've learned or what I'm going through. So I am so blessed to still be doing this a year later. And I don't know what the future holds, but I am open for everything that is to come. And I'm excited to get into season 3 with you guys. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Today's episode is Change Your Thoughts and You'll Change Your Life. Today I have 2 quotes. So we'll start it off with the first one. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. And that's by Brian Tracy. And I love that one. I feel like are on autopilot when it comes to our thoughts. We are just on the go, our mind is running, and we don't realize how much our thoughts affect our lives. So day to day, we're going on and on with the same thoughts, the same memories, the same fears, the same traumas, the same worries, day after day, but yet wondering why our life and our situations don't change. I feel like many of us are always thinking about, what if it doesn't work? What if I get made fun of if I try this? What if something goes wrong? It's easier for us to think of the negative things than the positive things. And that's because that's the way we've wired our brains. But it's the complete opposite as well. What if everything works out? What if you get everything that you ever dreamed of and hoped for? So I planned to do this episode about a week ago before filming. And just yesterday, I had some quality time with my son. Him and I went to have lunch together and we were talking and, we were talking about the future. He's going to be 18 this year. And we were talking about the future and what he plans to do once he gets out of high school and what his goals are and overall just the future plans that he has for himself and what he's wanting to do in life. And so we sat there and he was telling me, hey, I want to do this. But what if it doesn't work out? He starts going through the little things in his mind. My son is a very shy person. And so in terms of the career that he's wanting to do and pursue outside of high school, it's something that does require him to put himself out there and to be a people person and to talk to people. And that's something that it's never been in his personality per se, in the sense of he's always been very shy, very reserved, very much will scan the room and see what's going on. And this career that he's thinking of is scary to him. So he's like, hey, what if I can't do it? What if I can't talk to people? And what if I suck at doing it? There's no what ifs. You have to go into it full force saying, it's going to work. It's going to happen. Worst case scenario, I fall. I'll dust myself off and I'll keep going. But think of the positives. And so I told him it's easy for us to sit there and to think of all the negative things. And so that fear is placed into us and it keeps a lot of us stuck. We don't grow because we are afraid of the what ifs. And so the other day I was listening to a podcast and they said fear, what that stands for, the acronym, false evidence appearing real. So the false evidence that we're making up in our minds, the false thoughts that are coming to our mind, we don't know the future. So we are good at playing fortune teller if it's negative, but we can't do that if it's positive. Why have we trained ourselves to think that way? And so again, it's false evidence appearing real. It's our deepest fears appearing real. So it stops us from doing that thing that we want to do or starting a career path on what we want to do and what our heart says, but our mind is telling us something else. Our mind is like, hey, we're afraid to do that. Let's not touch that. That's hot. And we don't even know if it's hot. And our mind is trying to protect us. But if we listen to our minds, we're never going to learn. We're never going to grow. We're never going to be that person that we want to be and live that life that we want to live because we're so stuck in it. So ask yourself, what if you believed in the possibilities of the positive thoughts, the possibilities of, hey, when this works out, I can be a multimillionaire. Hey, when this works out, I'm going to be living my dream life. I'm going to be in my dream job. Hey, this relationship is going to be my dream relationship. What if it all works out? What are the possibilities? And can you imagine what life would be like if you allowed yourself to live in best case scenario over worst case scenario and all the amazing things that you would do and you're capable of, but that you let fear stop you from doing? And so it goes back to reprogramming our minds, retraining our minds. Retraining our mind isn't about ignoring reality because life happens, right? Situations arise, things happen, and they're not always good sometimes. But if we're stuck and we're like, hey, I'm afraid of the what ifs, then you're not living life. You're surviving, you're not thriving. Life should be about lifting yourself higher. It should be about lifting yourself out of the overthinking, out of the stress, out of the anxiety, out of the fear, and into the positive light, into happiness, into abundance. And I want you to sit on this for a bit. I want you to stay with this throughout the day, if you can throughout the week. Change doesn't start with your circumstances. It starts with your mindset. It starts with you reprogramming your mind to believe in the positivity of what life can be and take yourself out of that negative mindset. All of the possibilities that are available to us. I know that my higher power only wants what's best for me. And whoever your higher power is, I know only wants what's best for you. So why sit in the what ifs and the negativity if there's so much life to be lived, if there's so much abundance out there for you, and it is for you. So don't feel like you're not meant to be wealthy, you're not meant to be healthy, that that's only for other people. It's for you. Believe it. And a lot of the times I've found people, even myself, when I was younger, I used to say, no, I'm not lucky. If something rare were to happen, oh, that would happen to me because I'm not lucky. I was just calling so much negativity into existence and into my life. I was just telling my mom the other day, our thoughts are put out into the universe before our words are even put out. So whatever you're thinking, you are putting it out there. And then if you're saying it, you're doubling down. It all starts with your thoughts and reprogramming it. But I used to be so negative, and I used to think that the world was against me, people were against me. In all reality, everything that was happening around me, I was calling into existence. I was calling the negativity. I was calling the bad situations. I was calling more debt. I was doing everything to myself. And when I started to learn and to reprogram my mind and live in abundance and saying, hey, I'm taken care of. I'm good right now. Look, I have the roof over my head. Look, I'm successful in my career. And I started to look at the positive side of things. Then more positivity started to come my way. More abundance started to come my way. So it's a shift. And so if you're sitting there and you're like, man, I'm always sick and I feel like it's just bill after bill, you're calling that into existence. You're calling that negative. You're calling that debt. You're calling that sickness into your body because you are focusing on that. So shift your mindset, Shift your thoughts into abundance, to health, to wealth, to happiness, to love, to peace, to prosperity. You shift that mindset, and you will start to realize that the more that you shift that mindset is the more that you call these things into your life, the more that abundance comes to you with ease. And every day that I meditate and I do my affirmations, I say, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am blessed, I'm abundant. And I believe that. It's not something that I just say, and it takes time, right? But it's a matter of retraining and reprogramming. And then your mind starts to believe, no, I do deserve abundance. I do deserve health. I do deserve wealth and happiness. And your brain's like, okay, this is different. So we're not just living in negativity. She's starting to think positive, and so I'm going to attract that. And so once I shifted that mindset from the negative to the positive, I would say, I'm going to live here. I'm going to have that vehicle. I'm going to have that. And guess what, guys? It would happen. I would get everything that I said I wanted. Not maybe the next day or in a week or in a month. Sometimes it did take a year or two. Sometimes it took time. Sometimes it came instantly. But as I spoke it into existence, the first step was thinking it. The second step was speaking it, doubling down, speaking it into existence. I was able to change and shift my reality. We're co-creators. So as you're thinking negative thoughts, you are co-creating your reality. More negativity is coming to you. So shift that mindset. Rewire your brain, reprogram your brain to believe that everything that is good comes to you with ease, that you deserve this opportunity, you deserve love, you deserve that career that you want to get into, and don't let fear stop you. Don't let those negative thoughts stop you from getting into that life that you want and that you can see for yourself. But your brain tells you, no, that's not meant for me. That's meant for other people. No, I promise you, it's meant for you. Believe it, accept it. So I challenge you, shift your mindset, switch your mindset, believe it, work on that. And it's not a one-time thing, guys. This is something that you have to work towards. Healing is a tough journey. Healing is something that takes time and grace and patience. Remember, you built these habits. You built this mindset. You built this character, and you have to work to rebuild the person that you want to be. So be gracious with yourself, but also remain firm and consistent in everything that you're wanting to do. Shift it and switch it. Shift it and switch it. Just remember, shift it and switch it. Shift your mindset, switch to the positivity. Your life will change for the better. I want you to also remember, overthinking isn't intuition, it's a bad habit. Overthinking is something that you just let your mind replay and replay and replay, that it's become a bad habit. And that's all that your mind knows to do, because it can't sit in silence or it can't sit in positivity. So what does it do? It runs, but it's running on negative autopilot over and over and over. So stop. You have the power to do that. You have the power to retrain your mind. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You can question it. You can ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Am I triggered right now? Is this a fear that's coming from somewhere? Or is this just the negative mindset that I've allowed myself to sit in and to be in for so long? Question it. Question your thoughts. And once you know the answers, retrain your mind and restore your peace. There's a trend going on right now where everybody's reflecting back to 2016 and where they're at now in 2026. And this kind of plays into the episode of change your thoughts and you'll change your life. In 2016, I was 26 years old. I was all over the place in terms of my career. I was hurting with everything that I had been through in life. I was angry, again, was in a negative mindset. So as I was living my life, I was in a negative mindset, which was drawing more negativity to my life. 2016, I was all over the place. I was a hot mess. And now looking forward, I've changed my mindset. We're in 2026. I'm working towards healing. I not all over the place in terms of my career. I am solid in my career, solid in my foundation, and if anything, growing into something that is shifting me into a new direction. But while I'm still maintaining my career, I feel like my higher power is opening up other doors and aligning things for my greatest and highest good, and showing me things that in my wildest dreams I never thought would be possible, and how much I am capable of. So I was a 26-year-old hurting, angry, in pain, hating the world. World was spiraling. And 2026, I will be 36 next month. And I'm loving my life, living in abundance, happiness. Does it mean that every day is perfect, beautiful, sunshine, rainbows? No. I have my bad days. I won't even say my bad days. I have the times where I do feel like life can be hitting me. But as soon as that that situation arises or that thought comes into mind, I shift and I'm like, okay, no, what can I learn from this? Why is this happening for me, not to me? And so much growth since 2016 in those 10 years. And if you would have told me in 2016 that I would be working towards healing, setting boundaries, protecting my peace, protecting my energy, working towards the best version of myself, I wouldn't even know what that looked like. And so reflect. It's easy for us to look back at the past and think of all the negative, right? This happened to me, that happened to me, this person did this to me. But do we ever look back and see the journey, the growth that we've had in X amount of time in this situation, 10 years? And I hadn't honestly looked back 10 years until this trend started happening. I'm like, whoa, man, I've come so far. And where am I going to be in 10 years from now when I'm 46? How much more growth, abundance, peace, positivity. And that's how I'm looking at life. And that's how I challenge you to look at 10 years from now. If you're still blessed to be on this earth and living life and living your purpose, how much further are you going to go? How much further am I going to go? And let's share that. Let's share that with each other. DM me, message me, and say, hey, this is where I was 10 years ago. This is where I'm at now. And this is where I see myself in 10 years. You're allowed to be the co creator of your future. So co create, look into the future. And what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to be a world traveler? Do you want to have more kids? Do you want to change careers? What is it? Let me know. Comment down below, DM me if you feel like you would like to share your story as well. I'm happy to hear it. And I'm here to hold a place for you in my heart. And I want you to know that in this community that I have built and that I continue to build, it's all love, peace, light, no judgment. We're going to be okay. You got this. I got this. Great things are coming, and you have to believe it. And when the shadow of doubt comes, change your thinking. And I promise you it'll change your life. As always, guys, I send you so much love, peace, joy, positivity. Please be sure to follow if you're on this healing journey and you feel like this is for you, or if you know someone that is struggling and needs some positivity in their life and feels like it's just back-to-back negativity and I just can't get out of it. Send them this video, share this video with them, tag them in the video, and please be sure to like, share, comment, follow. I am on YouTube, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Riverside platform, Instagram, Facebook. And if you know of any other sites that you would like me to post on, please let me know as well. And I'll be sure to figure that out on how to get my episodes live on there. And I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. Happy 2026. Happy New Year. We got this, guys. Bigger, better things for us. Positivity always. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day. Bye, guys.